What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Kenny Tarot YouTube channel. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Hope you guys are doing well, staying safe out there. Before I even begin, prayers up to all those who were affected in this mass shooting, another mass shooting in Texas. Sending so much love, and please keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. And if you can, there's many resources or many outlets available that you could use, that you could show your support, whether it's through money or through other ways. So I had to do that first. I would be remiss if I didn't do that. So yeah, prayers up to them. But today, you guys, we have another video. And before we get into that though, I gotta give a special shout out to one comment from our previous video, and it's from Lynn C. And it reads, beautiful message I needed to hear. Funny you mentioned I Love and Why, and my cousin was a contestant on that show. Y'all, I love that show. I still love that show. That show is a classic. It's reality TV gold. That and Flavor of Love. I watch that still to this day sometimes because it's still just timeless. It's just timeless comedy. You know, that's the type of reality TV that these reality TV shows look up to. You know what I mean? Especially New York. But you know, reality will never be like that ever again. And so that's why I watch it for nostalgic reasons, but because I know that that was reality TV at its prime. And, you know, reality TV nowadays is anything but real, okay? And it's usually, it's just very situational. It's always very planned. Like, oh, okay, you guys are going to fight here right next to this crowd, and you guys are going, like, back in the days, they didn't need to do all that. But I wonder, Lynn, who was that contestant? If you are watching, I really want to know, because all of them are pretty memorable and pretty much a character and very entertaining to watch. So I'm very curious to know. But anyways, I digress. I just love that comment. Today, you guys, we have another reading. And I felt as though I haven't given you guys an ego boost in a while. And so that's what we're going to do today. Today's video is entitled, When Are You at Your Most Beautiful? So we're going to be asking Spirit at what times, or whether it's your, you know, what attribute that really showcases your beauty, whether it's inner beauty, which is pretty much what I'm sure they're going to focus a lot more on, but I do believe that a lot of it is going to translate through your physical beauty and just other things about you that make you beautiful. So I'm very excited for this video. It's going to be a good one, and it's meant to make you guys feel good, okay? So without further ado, you guys, please choose from these piles. We have pile number 1 with the clear quartz. We have pile number 2 with the citrine, pile number 3 with the carnelian, and pile number 4 with the black tourmaline stone. So with that being said, you guys, please choose with your gut and not with your eyes, and I will catch you at your reading. What is up, pile number 1? This is for those who pick the clear quartz crystal. We're about to find out, when are you at your most beautiful? The cards that they gave us are the 6 of Pentacles. Love that. We also have the 8 of Wands in reverse. We also have the 7 of Torches, which is also the 7 of Wands. We have the Fool card. This is Trust in this deck. We have number 51. This is Truth. We also have number 15, Appreciation. This card always comes out with you guys. I mean the collective. lotus flower unfoldment, which is expected. When we get to it, you'll understand. We also have regret. We also have release. And this card that we'll get into later. So, pile number one, it's definitely coming across the immediate feeling that I get from you is a generous spirit. Not only a generous spirit, but it's more so, it's a very generous spirit, but also generous in a way in which you are someone who is willing to give your time and energy for the sake of others. I also feel like there's like an advocate spirit with you. I see a defender of those who cannot defend themselves, a speaker for those who cannot speak for themselves. You are definitely someone who would positively react in defense of someone who was being bullied and you were amongst them, whether you know them or not. I also get someone who has an interesting background though, an upbringing that contributed to this as well. But what you also may not know is that this is who you are as a soul being. This is who you've always been in some aspect in many lives before. I believe there also has been a time for this group in which you've dedicated your entire life to be that defender, whether it's a knight of some sort, or whether it's someone's personal bodyguard, or someone who is a speaker of truth, and someone who usually exposes the wrongs of the world in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you got to prosecute it for that. But that has always been you, and I believe that there's been maybe a lifetime or two that you've dedicated your whole entire life. The interesting thing about you in this life, though, is that will always be you. But what your spirit team really wants you to really emphasize on in this life, and what will also enhance your beauty, is that this life is supposed to be a little bit more carefree, a little bit more go with the flow. And I think it's your light that is really going to exemplify that no matter what is going on, whether it's crazy or chaotic, there is always going to be a inner knowing that you're going to display that everything is just fine. People can look onto you for reassurance. People can look onto you to feel like everything's going to be okay, whether it's by way of you protecting them or just your very being. And that's beautiful. Let's begin. We have the Six of Pentacles. So what's funny is that they're telling me that it's not overtly spiritual. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not someone who's just walking around with, like, in a monk outfit and giving platitudes to anyone who will receive it. No, it's not like that. It's not like something as overtly spiritual. This is you operate on a spiritual level, but it's not spiritual. Like, it's not like, okay, you are a Reiki healer. You are it's not something like that. Like, you could be doing whatever the hell that you feel interested in doing, but this is how you'll always operate. But once again, the Six of Pentacles is the generous spirit, the generosity that you constantly show to people. But the thing is, it's not the type of generosity in which you feel like I'm going to be taken advantage of, and that's okay. No, that's not you. It's reciprocated. Not you understand the balance that's needed when it comes to generosity. Meaning, I give just as much as I receive. I'm not just going to give to those who don't show signs of giving back to me. But I really see that people are dependent on you in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not sure if this is something that's like your job, but I feel like this is something that could translate to a career of yours. People's well-being could sometimes be dependent on you, and I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but let's just say in the more simpler terms, it could be that once again, your very presence or whatever you do provide for people makes people at ease, makes people feel at ease. And of course, this could mean you can be very generous with money, but it doesn't have to be. But I do get that you give very non-discriminately, and I think it definitely comes across as someone who, if you look at the figure, not necessarily looking at the person that they are giving the pentacles to. To me, that indicates that you believe that anyone deserves help, anyone deserves love. But once again, I don't get the doormat vibe from you at all, actually, at all. And we're going to get into that. So we also have the Eight of Torches, which is also the Eight of Wands in reverse. I feel like with you, you have goals. You have goals of your own. You also have, things that you also want to accomplish in this life. But you probably have been experiencing delays. And I think what people could also find beautiful, or what is beautiful, is that in the midst of delays or in the midst of things that are not going to your way, I do get the sense that you are someone who doesn't necessarily fret over it. You believe in the higher perspective, or even if you don't know what the higher perspective is, you believe that there is something that's good, that's going to be the outcome, regardless. Once again, it's that faith. It's that people may even see it as being naive, like, oh my God, like, when are you finally going to get your life together? But your life is together. And you may not know how or why, but the thing is, you do have a great deal of faith within you that reassures you that anything that isn't going to, or isn't in your way, or isn't going your way currently, will eventually go your way. Once again, I don't get like obviously you're watching this video, so you do have interest in spirituality at the very least. But I'm not getting someone who's doing what I'm doing. Like, I don't get a tarot reader. I don't get someone who is, doing some spiritual related practice, besides meditation, of course. But I'm not getting someone like your occupation is. Sorry for all that noise. It's dishes. But I don't get like your occupation is something that is spiritual, overtly spiritual. I just think the underlining feel is spiritual. So you could be a doctor, you could be all these other things, or you could be an investor even. But the way you operate is very spiritual, meaning it's on the vibration of love and compassion. So we also have Seven of Torches. This is that energy that I love. We all need someone like this. This is like the extreme example, but you know how if you go to the clubs, right, and you got that one friend that, like, if there's a guy that's trying to holler at you, trying to get your digits, trying to get your mathematics. You have this one friend that's like, she's not interested, or something to that effect, to where your friends don't have to worry about being approached by people who they're not interested in because they know that you're there. This is that defended energy. And this is also someone who has a great deal of confidence as well. This is also someone who marches to the beat of their own drum. While everyone else is saying you're wrong, you know and you're right that you're right. I also feel like this is you're also a walking lie detector as well. And you are someone who will call people out when needed. It's not to say that you get joy from it. It's not to say that you want to do it, but you instinctively feel you have to reveal the truth, you know, and it's not in a messy way, but it's more so like, yo, if someone's lying to someone else and you overhear it, you will call it out. Even if you don't even have the facts, but you just know. Once again, that's that. There's some psychic, spiritual essence about what you do. You just maybe weren't aware that it's coming from a place of that nature, but it is. Yeah. But once again, the thing is, you're doing this all for people. You're being of service to other people in some way, shape, or form in your own way. And I do see that there's an advocate. I also feel like a freedom fighter or like you're someone, that's your essence. That's who you are on a soul level. And people admire that. People gravitate towards that. Let's get it. We get into this card. This is the full card. We have the trust card. Once again, this is without even knowing what's going to be the outcome, you believe that the outcome will always be for your best. And once again, this is indication, once again, that this lifetime is supposed to be a little bit more carefree. It's not to say that you won't have any struggles, but it is to say that when you do have struggles, the perspective that you are supposed to be looking at it from is from a higher perspective, in which you just know, without actually having evidence to prove it, but you just know that things will always work out for your higher good and for your best. They're also saying that this is a result from your own upbringing of sorts. You're coming across as you've been through some things, because they're like showing me like you're a wounded soldier, but a wounded soldier who's like a vet and has all these accolades and medals. It's like you went through some things that could have absolutely maybe completely broke you down, but you prevailed. And I think you are someone who could instill hope and inspiration onto others, even if it's not something that you're intentionally trying to do. Once again, I just feel like it's just your very being, and maybe also your background is something that people can relate to as well. With the truth card here, once again, it reiterates the walking lie detector. Very honest. I think you are someone who people would describe as being real, authentic. They can trust your judgment as well. They believe that you also have great discernment. Once again, I just feel like you are someone who's very vital in a lot of people's lives. Yeah. Because they can count on you to really be honest with them, and they can count on you to really do what's right and say what's right. Once again, I'm being like you are like the epitome of justice. Correcting the wrongs of the world in some sense. We have number 15, appreciation. I really feel like the universe is absolutely going to be blessing you, or if they haven't already. I mean, of course, the universe has blessed you, but I mean, like, in whatever it is that you are trying to manifest, you will absolutely get it. And I think it's because you display traits that all of us should kind of display, especially with this card. This is the gratitude card. This is the card in which, in the midst of all the chaos around you and behind you, you still manage to show that, I am still blessed. You manage to still feel a sense of gratitude for all that you have, all that you've gone through. And once again, that is like high level spiritual mastery that, some people probably won't ever achieve in a lifetime. And I think this shows, this shines, I'm really getting like a yellow, oranges fire. I don't do aura talk, but if I had to for you, it would be like a yellowish, oranges, reddish, but like a very beautiful mixture of those colors. But they're making me feel like you're somewhat of a symbol or a beacon of light and a beacon of hope for others as well. It's that type of positivity, and I'm sure you are physically beautiful as well, but it's that type of optimism, it's that type of energy overall that radiates from the inside out that will absolutely have positive effects on your physical beauty as well. We also have Lotus Flower. This is a spiritual card. So what's funny is like they keep saying that it's not necessarily, you're not a monk, you're not someone, you're not a monk from Tibet. Even though you could be, but what I mean is that it's not overt. You're just like anybody else. Like that's what it's coming across. Like people are able to relate to you. You know what I mean? Not everyone is a priest. Not everyone is a highly, a psychic, or at least overtly a psychic, because we all have psychic abilities. But not everyone is claiming to be that, and you're not one of that's you as well. You're not claiming to be any of that, but that is who you are in essence. What you're doing is you're operating from a very high vibration that is reminiscent of the angelic realm, but more so like Archangel Michael, like the fighter, the defender. But this card, what I love about this card is that the lotus flower that's depicted, its normal habitat is like places that are muddy, places that are maybe not clean, or places that are maybe a little bit less fortunate than other places. And I think this is probably how you also grew up, but you still managed to be the beautiful individual that you are. And I think you're someone who absolutely radiates on such a high vibration and high positive level that everyone else around you has no other choice but to take notice and to really marvel at what your energy is. But I also feel like, once again, it's indicating maybe there's a contrast to your upbringing or the contrast of your experiences. It's like you went through all that, or you grew up here, and yet you're you're more positive than me, or you're more, generous than me. That's the contrast that I'm referring to. They're talking about childhood too. So I feel like this is the scenarios that they're giving me. I feel like for some of you guys, there could have been a relationship that you've had as a child with a parental figure, and it could have been positive or it could have been the opposite. I also feel like with you, children will absolutely be a thing in your life, whether you like it or not. This could be with nephews and nieces, or it could be with children of your own. They will gravitate to you, and you will be an exemplary role model for them. Absolutely. But let's get to the next card. We have regret. As they mentioned before, they wanted to highlight a lot of you guys' upbringing. It does appear that either you had a great example of your own, such as a mother figure. I'm feeling they're showing me a Queen of Pentacles, so that's automatically my mother card. But some of you guys could have had a very positive experience with an example that you could learn from, and others of you guys had a not so positive experience, and you've kind of molded yourself to really become the opposite of who that person was and what type of nurturing that they show, or lack of nurturing that they've shown. And so once again, I also feel like there's another scenario that they want me to express, and it seems very niche, like it's just, but for some of you guys, or I don't even think it's some of you guys, I think it's like maybe one or two of you guys, this energy that you display, this beautiful energy that you display, this beauty that you show, is a contrast to how you were growing up. You could have been what people may describe as a problem child, or someone who had some behavioral issues, and you matured, and I think it's a transformation that everyone who's known you, or who grew up with you, will always mention and always be in awe and be amazed at, like. And if that is you, this is once again a reminder that your past is your past. It's nothing that we can change, and it's nothing that you can, nothing that you should feel bad about at this point, because they actually help create the person that you are today. So, overall, I'm getting a very nurturing element from you. You take care of people. That's just your natural instinct. That's always going to be beautiful. Release. It says you have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. That was a very spiritual description, but it's essentially what you're doing. You choose not to give in to worries, give in to all the, it's not to say you can't take anything seriously, because obviously you can, but it's to really, I think you do have an understanding of how life is supposed to be lived. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Yes, we're supposed to grow and learn and evolve, but I think you are aware that life is an experience that is also supposed to be a positive one, and something that you should actually find enjoyable. I also feel like, once again, there is something that you're trying to either create or build or just manifest. And you've absolutely did what you're supposed to do when it comes to manifestation, is when you set the intention, you release any thoughts or any ideas of how it's going to manifest. Like, you do exactly what you're supposed to do. You set the intentions to the universe, you state what it is that you want, or do whatever ritual that you feel is appropriate. but that's it. You let it go. Because according to you, and this is how it should be for everyone, according to you, once you set the intention, it's already granted. And that's exactly right. There's something brewing. They're not necessarily being as outright with what it is that it's brewing. I'm assuming it's good because it's going to be different for each and every one of you guys, whether it's love, whether it's career, but whatever that is for you, it will absolutely come true. Absolutely, it's already granted. It's already ordained for you. And it's like a reward for you. So, pile number one, we need more people like you. This is the type of people I like to have in my crew. I don't do Debbie Downers. I also don't do anyone who can stand idly while wrong is being committed. I don't do that. So we need more people like you, especially people in which can defend others or really stand up for others. That will always be you. I get the sense that a lot of people need your energy, need your presence, and really admire you as well. That's why you're beautiful. That's when you're at your most beautiful. When you are defending others and really doing things for others, for the sake of others, without, this is absolutely selfless. And not for attention, not because, I just think it's the right thing to do, which it is, but it's more so like, this is just who you are, and you're not going to hide that. The last card that we have is cheerfulness. I love that. I love that. Once again, it's that energy of yours, that life force of yours, very yellowish, orangish, reddish. People will always take notice to your energy and your brightness, and this is in the midst of whatever chaos is happening in the world or just in your own personal lives. You will always find the joy. Yeah. And that's true beauty. Pile number one, this is the first reading and I think it's my favorite. So, you keep glowing. You keep doing you. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pal? Number two, this is for those who picked the Citrine stone. We're about to find out, when are you at your most beautiful? The cards that they gave us are the Princess of Swords, which I believe is the Page of Swords. Or the Page of Wands. It's just Page of Swords, I'm sorry. For some reason it looked kind of fiery. But that's the Page of Swords. We also have the Devil card in reverse. Okay, we also have the Princess of Pentacles, which is also the Page of Pentacles. We have number 4, Just Breathe. This is also the Four of Swords. We also have the Swan. If there's an animal that indicates beauty or epitomizes beauty, it would be a swan, in my opinion, or a peacock. We also have number 3, Blossoming Abundance in reverse. We have Mountain, Strength. We have Change. We also have Empathy. And this card that we'll get into later. So, pile number 2, with you you've probably already been doing this, but there is going to be many transformations that you're going to undergo, and each time it's going to further enhance your beauty, each and every time. That's what they wanted to start off with. I think you're going to go through a lot of things, whether it's positive or maybe not so pleasant, and each time it's going to really just add on to your strength, and that is also part of your beauty as well. But there's also something about you that's very youthful. I think overall, what they keep screaming at me is that it's very young. Something is young. The energy around you, or the energy that you exude, is very young. So I'm not entirely sure if you're young in age, but it's no disrespect at all. This is actually a compliment, in a sense that there is something about how you operate that is very innocent, and very much, I believe, the world could be a better place, like that type of vibe. But I also feel like it's not something in which you are clouded by, idealism. Like, you are somewhat of a realist still. I also feel like they keep saying young. And I think I think it's also because maybe you have yet to really fully mature, and this has nothing to do with age. Meaning, the person that you are today is a beautiful person, but there's so much more that you're about to become, and you just don't know it yet. Let's begin. We have the Princess of Swords. Yeah, once again, they're saying that there is maturity that's going to be, that you're going to fall into. The Princess of Swords is someone who's quite inquisitive, someone who's very knowledgeable, very smart, very witty, someone who's a great communicator. This is someone who's very sharp as far as their capacity for intelligence. And we also have someone who, once again, I feel like asks a lot of questions. They're bringing me back to how kids be like, why? But why? Like that type of thing. But you know what I mean? But it's an indication that you're someone who is a seeker of knowledge, and someone who always wants to know things and is interested in knowing a lot about more things. I once again, they're showing me the King of Swords in reverse, which indicates in respect to the Princess of Swords, there's a level of maturity that you're going to experience, and this will be what they're calling your final form. And it's something to do with business. It's something to do with your professional life. I think that's the only thing that's missing. I think with you, it definitely comes across as someone who has interests and who has special areas of fields that they have interest in. But there's going to come a time in which you're going to really truly dedicate something, or dedicate your time and energy to something that it's going to be professional. It's going to be career related as well, and that will be the indicator that you have finally matured. And I feel like it's kind of saying that, or they're kind of saying that some of you guys have yet to really taking maybe parts of your life as serious as you probably could, such as career. But then again, that is beautiful because it's indicating there is a sort of I live in the moment type of vibe that comes with you. And I can just worry about that stuff later. So we also have the Devil card in reverse. So they're also saying that you're actually quite magical and you're actually quite powerful, more powerful than you really, I think not you give yourself credit. I think you know how powerful you are and how powerful you can be. I think other people discredit your power. I think you're often underestimated. And once again, it's because of that youthful energy. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's something to do with maturity. And the Devil card in reverse is really Spirit almost commending you for keeping that energy, because the Devil card in this case represents, when it's just something about it. When we're kids, we have a very almost like positive way of thinking. We believe that anything could happen, but it's something about when we mature that something about that just clicks off, and we never refer back to it a lot of the time. That childlike wonder for you never left. And I feel as though this represents a rejection to giving in to the powers of adulthood. I feel like most adults believe that being an adult and being mature means to be a serious robot who only cares about work. And for you, that's not the case. And I think you're going to become, or at least you are becoming, a person who's going to really show people that, I'm an adult, but yet I'm a kid at heart, you know what I mean? I'm always going to instill a sense of fun or a sense of joy or a sense of positive, sense of hope, a sense of all these things, a sense of wonder, all these things that we are taught to lose as we grow older and mature. They're also saying that there is a way for you to really incorporate that type of energy, that youthful energy, into your manifestation practices. I'm not entirely sure how, but I do believe it has a lot to do with the very idea that anything could happen. And I refuse to give in to the idea that that's not realistic to believe that way. Like that. We have Princess of Pentacles. I feel like for a lot of you guys, career is something that is just beginning, or at the very least, it's now becoming more a focal point for you, when in the past it hasn't been as much. I feel like a lot of people around you, or people that know you personally, are like, finally you got this job, or finally you graduated, or finally you actually took your life seriously. Like, I feel like that could be the vibe, but this is absolutely like someone, an apprentice of sort, a student of sort, someone who's just beginning their career. They're showing me the Star card. So I have to say, whatever it is that you're going to be pursuing in your career or in your professional life, you will be very successful, but there is a sense of popularity that comes with it in some way, shape, or form, or whatever field it is that you're pursuing, you're going to be well known in that particular field, whether it's through your peers or whether maybe in a global and more public way. And once again, it's like people may find you to be quite in your head all the time, not dreaming, but this is more so like always wanting to know, I feel like people, once again, get you confused with someone who's just not taking life too seriously, when in fact you're someone who's quite grounded and quite practical. It just has a tint of youthfulness, which is why people, I feel, get confused, but they don't necessarily see that as actually beautiful. This energy is actually beautiful. And once again, you are representing the rejection of the idea that being an adult means that life has to be boring, that life has to be serious, that life has to be, very, routine. And it doesn't. I really feel like for some of you guys, the career choice that you're going to be choosing is maybe a creative one. If not a creative one, it's going to be creative, but you're still going to be professional once again. You're someone who's going to be growing into, maturing into, like the King of Swords, Queen of Swords energy. So that was the very professional individual. So it's like whatever you pursue will have a very business overtone to it. So it's not just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to be a painter. No, it's like, I'm going to be a painter and I'm going to sell these paintings for high profit. Like it has a business overtone to it. So you're going to really show people for sure that being who you are, which is beautiful, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not taking life seriously. And watch, I'm going to be successful, even more successful than you. That's what it's supposed to show. Now we also have number 4. This is the 4 of Swords. Just breathe. Some of you guys currently are taking like somewhat of a break or somewhat of a gap year, especially if you're students. Once again, that is quite important. You're a firm believer of not getting burnt out and not getting to a point in which life or whatever you're pursuing isn't something that is conducive to maybe your well-being or just your overall enjoyment. I also get that for you guys, there are things that something has happened in your past that you are kind of still recovering from, and how there could be, especially like something from childhood, that could be a direct result of maybe how you see life. But the thing is, it's one of those things where it's like a blessing in disguise. Like, I've been through that, yeah, it was tough, but the person I became, I would never have become the person I am today without that experience. There are also some of you have two sides. So there's one side of you that is very dominant, which is the more practical, I see it vivacious. I see someone with such vitality, such youthfulness, very smart, very, they make me want to do this, like pull my glasses up. Not like a nerd, but I'm thinking like more like anime. I digress. But someone who, I think the person that you show overall is something that people often misunderstand, because you actually have a deeper side of you. There's a vulnerability that you also have, and oftentimes you don't show that. But there is a vulnerability. There's also a mysteriousness. There's a side to you that you don't necessarily show, and only certain people are privy of it. But it's a side of you that's very emotional and very deep, and even mysterious and sensitive as well. So there's a duality. There's a duality that's also, when you truly embrace both sides of yours, that practical nature of yours, that very earthly, grounded side of you, as well as the more watery side of you, the more softer side of you, it becomes a very beautiful combination that complement one another. You know how to do that. And for others guys, this is who you're transforming, or this is who you're also becoming. Maturity may be defined by this duality. Like, your spirit's idea for maturity for you is being able to embrace and show and be able to operate on both of those levels, practical and very much, sensitive and sort of that dreamy type of energy. Then we also have the Swan. So once again, your life is really just is, if there's a word for it, it's transformation. And I think there is going to, I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be one big transformation, but there's going to be like many glow ups all the time. Once again, they keep saying that you're not at your final form yet, although you're quite beautiful. But I also feel like this is also talking about physical beauty. So a lot of you guys are actually physically beautiful as well. And this may have not been something that was predicted to happen, because once again, I do feel like there's going to be, it's not to say, okay, because just like the swan, the ugly duckling to the swan, it's not to say you weren't attractive before or weren't beautiful before, but it's more so to say that you were beautiful then, but now you're even more beautiful. They're also showing me the sun card, so once again, youthful energy. There's going to, when you age, it's going to be like fine wine. And I think that's just, they're really talking about your physical beauty for sure. But your energy will still remain. That usefulness, that bright energy that people thrive off of and really gravitate towards will always be you, will always remain. And when you do age, there's always going to be aspects about you that appear to be young. You will always look younger than you actually are. Blossoming abundance in reverse. So part number 2, there's actually something in store for you on a business aspect. There's something in store for you that you will be very successful in. But they're making me feel like another level of maturity will be unlocked prior to that. And I think the maturity could have to just stem from you finally, sticking to one idea or one concept that you really truly feel drawn to, that you actually want to make into a career or actually want to pursue. And once you do that, you're soaring. So, but I get the sense that you have yet to either start on it or you took some type of break on it. So there's a delay, but I feel like it's self-impended. Like it's something that you've wanted. And I think that's part of the reason as to why people are like, when will you take life seriously? And when will you grow up finally? And it's like your philosophy is almost like there's no rush. Like it's going to happen. Like I have, no matter what age you are, like I can do it anytime. And I think that's why this reading is really translating as someone who's quite young, because you do, I think even the way that you say things and the way that you think, it contrasts most adults. Most adults would be like, okay, well, I gotta graduate, I gotta, get a job, and then my life begins. And you're like, no, my life begins now, whether I have a job or not. A job can wait, but like I want to live my life as well. So I definitely see you guys, there's something about exploring the world or just exploring life in general as something that takes precedent over the dull side in your opinion, the dull side of life. But once again, there's something that when you actually do pursue whatever this is for you, and only you guys will know what that is, that career field, whatever that is for you, it will be successful. Because once again, you are someone who does have a very practical and who has a very practical nature. And when you focus on something, you focus on something. and there's a business person that is ready to shine within you, that will ensure success. We have mountain strength. Once again, there's a dichotomy. Because when I think of mountain strength, I think of someone who's experienced, who's quite strong, and who maybe gone through some things that made them very tough and very who endured a lot, who had such fortitude that they built enough fortitude to where nothing could ever phase them. And that's something that you would think an adult quality would have. And I'm not saying, I'm sure you guys are adults, but what I mean is that people underestimate you. You're actually a symbol of strength as well. You're someone who's quite, and once again, you've been through a lot. I get the sense that you've been through some things that attributed to this strength of yours. And I also feel like a part of that vulnerability that you don't show as often is also strength in itself. And that's also beautiful. But you're actually someone who empowers other people as well. And once again, people could be a little bit thrown off because you could be quite, like, you come across as young and you could have a younger age, but there is still a level of wisdom that you hold that is typically associated with more mature people, but you still have that within you. So not only are you a strong individual, but you also are someone who gives encouragement and empowerment to others as well. They're also saying that for some of you guys, there are people who are privy to what you've been through. So it's like a lot of people are amazed of that someone so young or someone who's has this type of youthful personality and youthful energy has gone through so much. Yeah, I just get a lot of people underestimating you. A lot of people don't even know the strength that you hold. But overall, they are impressed by you. Now we also have change. Transformation, once again, is going to be occurring in your life. I do feel like there's going to be transformation in the physical sense, but also in the figurative sense as well, from the inside. There's going to come a time where you're going to achieve, and I think you're already doing this some way, where there's a balance of that. For you, I feel like the maturity is going to translate in career, because they keep mentioning that, and how that hasn't really been, its potential hasn't yet to be met when it comes to your career. Like, there's something big that's going to happen in your career, and that is going to be where your maturity really finally shines. But your personality, your energy will be something that really helps balance that. I just really feel like you're meant to be, and I don't want to put this on your head like this is your responsibility, no. But what I will say is that I feel like you're meant to be an example to show other people, like, yo, just because I'm an adult or just because I've grown does not mean I have to lose my usefulness, use my childlike wonder, lose my enjoyment and fun for life, or joy for life. And I think you're going to be an example to where I can have both. I could be that business serious person too when it's time to work, but I can also have fun. And that is when that's when you're at your most beautiful. And I think you have shown this in some way. But there has yet to be a time where you truly, to where we have seen the full potential of what this could be and what this could mean for you. But it will help you absolutely become quite successful. You're the star. So, the next card that we have is empathy. Once again, you've been through something too that I feel a lot of people, or at least you'll come across people who also been through things in their past, and which is why you've developed maybe some sort of belief or perspective about life that is quite useful, and maybe some people would call even naive. But I also feel like there's something about what you've gone through, or something about what you display, the beauty that you display, that other people could also relate to. But I also feel like this is maybe a natural response that people tend to give to you. I get the sense that people tend to want to care for you. People tend to want to coddle you. And this, no matter what age you may be, once again, it's about energy here. But you're more than capable of taking care of yourself, of course. Oftentimes I'll have a reading like this in which there's someone, the energy is coming across very useful, and spirit typically uses the term brat. But it's not that. This time. This is, it almost feels like you still have a sense of wisdom, of maturity, despite your young age, or despite your youthful disposition. Yeah, it's the dichotomy and duality. The last card that we have is joyfulness. You're kidding. Once again, there's that youth. You're absolutely meant to have, I think people love being around you. Because that type of energy is, it's addicting. People get energized from this type of energy that you hold. And it's that youthful sun energy that you realize I should never lose. I should always embrace. So with that being said, you guys, pile number 2, I believe the citrine is absolutely the aura that you're giving. And once again, I see success coming your way. And it has to do with you remaining true and vigilant in this duality of being useful and still maintaining some of that childlike qualities that we are taught to lose as we grow older. But you still know how to switch it up, but you still know how to keep the balance in which, yeah, I can still have fun and still have that innocence, still have that childlike wonder, but I do know how to also switch it up and be on business mode, in career mode, in adult mode. Pile number 2. I thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up, pile number 3? This is for those who picked the Carnelian stone. We're about to find out, when are you at your most beautiful? The cards that they gave us are the Queen of Cups in reverse. Love that. I'm going to tell you why. King of Pentacles in reverse. Love that too. We have Nine of Pentacles. We have number 4, joy and stability. This is also the 4 of Wands. We have the Owl. We have number 21, strategy. We have dance, celebration. This is purpose. We also have compassion. And we also have this card that we'll get into later. So pile number 3. I love this energy. You are someone who you have or you will accomplish a lot. You will be very successful. And you're also someone who is actually very beautiful, physically beautiful, and also inwardly beautiful. You're someone who people will see has it all, the whole package. But the true beauty about this is you don't necessarily feel that way. You know, people may find you to be the creme de la creme when it comes to winning at life, but you don't see yourself that way. You still have a high self-esteem. You still have a high perspective about yourself, but you don't put yourself on such a high pedestal as other people do. You're just being you, living your life, trying to live the best life you possibly can. I see humility. I see someone who really appears that they have it all, was probably blessed with, you know, the best genes as far as what people would consider to be the epitome of beauty or the pinnacle of beauty. But it's like, for you, it's like, okay. Like, I get someone who's quite humble, but it's not being humble just because it's just what you should be doing. It's humble because I'm just me. Like, I'm just someone who owns a company, who's very successful, who has an amazing house. And yeah, it's probably true that I have a lot of admirers, but I don't really care. Like, I'm getting that type of vibe. Yeah, the beauty is stemming from a place where you obviously have physical beauty, and you're gonna be someone who has a lot of suitors. A lot of people who are going to find you to be the ideal person that they are attracted to. But for you, it's like you're not even focused on that. I don't even see someone who's really focused on relationship either. It's like, I have my career, I have my life, but now what? I'm now wanting to search for more. I want something more, something that actually invigorates me. Someone that I'm actually passionate about. And I think that goes for a relationship as well as just other experiences in life. I'm also getting someone who could be retired, or someone who's already lived life. They've achieved so much, they've accomplished so much, and now it's just about doing things or finding things that you actually enjoy. Once again, I get someone who's like very modest, but it's very genuine. That's why it's beautiful. You know, there could be people like that like to be like, this old thing, knowing damn well they planned all night to wear that outfit to look their best. But for you, when you say this old thing, it's the truth. Let's begin. Queen of Cups in reverse. This is someone who's very beautiful on the inside and out, but you don't see how beautiful you actually are. Even when people tell you, you're like, it's not that serious. But the Queen of Cups is known, even if this is in reverse, the Queen of Cups is known to be the most beautiful queen of all the courts, court archetypes. The most beautiful queen, that's from the inside and the out. So the physical beauty is absolutely a given for you, which is why I feel like you're more focused on the deeper. Money isn't enough to fulfill you anymore. Superficial things isn't enough. And I think people see that and they love that and they find that to be beautiful. Like someone who once again has it all. It's someone who still seeks deeper meaning in life, or just other things that provide value in a more sentimental way or a more deeper way. The King of Pentacles. I get someone who works a lot or who has worked a lot in reverse. There's a lot of actual work experience that you've had, and there's success to show for it. I think you are absolutely, or will be, in a position to where you would have achieved so much success to where you could maybe take a lot of time off and actually explore life and find other things in life to really put your energy into. You don't know this, but it seems as though that this is something that you energetically have been shifting towards. Some of you guys have always worked for so long, but you realize that there is somewhat of a void. It's like maybe you've also done some physical work as far as your appearance goes, and you achieved the level that you want. And then next on the list was probably achieving some type of career or success, and you have achieved that. And now it's like, now what? There's something missing. There's something deeper missing. There's a calling that you're being positioned at this point in your life to address. Something that's deeper that's calling you. This could be maybe finding a new career change. This could be also maybe finally giving into or being open to love and relationships. There's something more that you are longing for, even if you don't quite know what it is, but you just know it's something else that will sustain you on a deeper level. I also get someone who's quite responsible, someone who is quite dependable. Like you check all the boxes for a lot of people, but for you it's like, I guess, I mean, cool, I guess. You're more interested now in, like, what is my purpose? What's the meaning of life? Like, what am I truly here supposed to be doing? who am I supposed to be with, or who am I supposed to become, like those aspects. And I think that's actually quite beautiful for a lot of people, because it's like, oh, you're actually this deep, so you're not just fine and rich, but you're actually this deep. We also have 9 of Pentacles. This is the you have it all card. Like, when people see you, they believe that you have it all. This is also my single card, so I do feel like love is not necessarily the main focus, but it will become a focus for you, and that's something that the spirit is shifting for you. It will become a focus for you. And for a lot of you guys, that could be what's kind of missing. But the 9 of Pentacles is someone who's very successful, very comfortable with their life. They have achieved a certain lifestyle that many people would want. But this is also, this is a mini Empress, so this is the epitome of beauty. This is the epitome of abundance. This is also an indication that for some of you guys could be seeking to indulge in what life has to offer at this point, because you've worked so hard up to this point, and now it's time to really actually enjoy all that you've worked so hard to achieve. Relationships is what they really want to keep talking about with you. And I think that could, for a lot of you guys, solve the mystery as to what's missing. There's going to be a very significant partner that you're going to be in a relationship with that will complement you. I think they also have the same thing going on as well. I think they could be very much focused on their own success, and they could be beautiful to you, and they could be very fiercely independent. Like, you're coming across as fiercely independent as well. But even if they don't admit it, they are wanting a relationship, a partner. Four of Wands. So, I think this is something that you probably already voiced before. I think you have an affinity for marriage. You have an affinity for being a great provider of sorts, or at least being someone that can actually nurture and take care of a child. So that's also very beautiful. You've built a life, or at least you're going to build a life that is going to be of great benefit to someone else that you can share it with. And I believe for a lot of you guys, this will be children as well as a spouse. Yeah. Very, very successful. Like I said, I believe for those of you guys who are watching this, it's like, well, that's not me. This is the energy. So this is like something that, when it comes to energy is going to move a lot more faster than the 3D. So a lot of times, sometimes you'll see a reading and it won't be completely relevant right now, but it will be relevant in the future. So for some of you guys, this is what your life will become. But I do believe in some aspect, this has already been displayed in some way, shape, or form in your own life today. It's like, yes, I'm successful. Yes, I may be beautiful to a lot of people, but it's not all that I am. There's more to who I am than just that. And I don't really put much value in that. There's something else that I could. And that is beautiful. Pile number 3. It's like, yes, I have all those things. I am all those things, but I don't put much value in that because there's something else that is I consider to be more valuable, and that's something a little more deeper. And I think for you, it's relationships, it's connections, it's bonds, it's experience that are actually fun and enjoyable. It's not just about being alive in this life. It's about living and really enjoying this experience. I think you have a philosophy, which is why this owl card came out. You're wise and you're intelligent as well. I mean, I don't know about number 3. Maybe they're right. You are kind of sound like the entire package. That's wisdom. That's, once again, I don't even think, and I don't even really feel like it's something that you are saying because it sounds good, but this is truly what you believe, and I feel like it's something that you kind of adopted at this point. Because once again, you guys will come to a point where you're going to be like, well, I feel like I'm at my best as far as looks and as far as my health. I've achieved my best when it comes to success, and now it's like, what am I missing? What's missing? What there has to be something else. There has to be something more. So not only are you very wise for this type of way of thinking, this philosophy, but you're actually quite intelligent as well with strategy here. Pile number 3, I'm gonna have to just say it does sound like the total package. And you can be modest all you want, but I'm just trying to feel like, okay, you got beauty, you got brains, you got the finances are in order. You know, the only thing that I can say that's missing is like a relationship, a love relationship, because I get that you're single, or at least but you have a lot of suitors. You have a lot of people who has their eye on you. But for you, it's like, in order for you to engage, they're gonna have to give you more than what everyone else is giving you, like something deeper, something that you can feel. And not just physical, but emotional, maybe even spiritual. Yeah, you are absolutely destined for success. They're showing me the 6 of Wands. If you're not successful, and if you don't consider yourself successful today, as you watch this video, you will become successful, mark my words. You are someone who does have the mind to be very professional and to really have a successful business of your own. But I also feel like a lot of you guys will absolutely thrive in the sector that's maybe corporate or absolutely in that type of environment. You guys will thrive in that environment. Yeah. And for a lot of you guys, that's a part of what has already made you successful, as successful today. Because some of you guys may not necessarily be at the pinnacle of success, but you can still be considered successful by many people. The next card that we have is dance, celebration. I love this card. I really do. Something's being revealed to you about the true meaning of life. And it has to do with this. Not necessarily dance, but it has to do with enjoying this experience. Life is also meant to be enjoyed. It's not meant to just be about work. It's not meant to just be a struggle, even though that could sometimes occur when it comes to obstacles and challenges. But overall, this experience is meant to be enjoyed. And I think for a lot of you guys will be dedicating your life from this point on, once you have achieved success, to do just that, to just have enjoyable experiences. I even see that some of you guys may even have like a career change in which it's to a career that will still be successful without a doubt, because with your brain, with your business instinct, it will always be a success. But it will this time be more fun and enjoyable and something that you actually believe in. Speaking of which, we also have purpose. So once again, we're still talking about deeper meanings, something that is beyond surface level for you that you're seeking. And I think that's also what's maybe a little bit shocking to people, because once again, you are so beautiful, physically beautiful, but you're also successful. And typically people of that type of who has those two qualities in order, some of them could be there could be arrogance, there could be maybe too focused on materialism, but for you, you've somehow managed to achieve those, but don't allow it to control you, and don't allow it to define your life and define, what you consider to be maybe successful, or what you consider to be a good life. So I find that a lot of people are shocked that you could be maybe quite purposeful, or you could believe that you have there's a bigger reason as to why you're here. This is very spiritual, by the way. Very spiritual. Very spiritual. You don't have to be religious, you don't have to be anything like that, but I do get someone who's actually quite spiritually evolved. Very spiritually evolved. Very enlightened. Very, very high perspective that is equivalent to spirit and the universe. Yeah, I'm so impressed. I'm shaking. I am chills. I don't know why, but I'm getting like those butterflies. So, purposeful, beautiful, physical, on the inside and out. Someone who, and quite sensitive as well. It has very heightened capacity to emotion. But you also balance that with that practical nature of yours, that grounded nature of yours. You have the intelligence. You also know the importance of enjoying this experience, this life experience. And you also know that there is a deeper reason as to why you're here. And you're willing to put in the time to explore that and align to that. And you have compassion. I can tell you what's missing for you. It is, I see a partner, a romantic partner that you're going to have. I also see marriage, if that's what you're into, or whatever highest form of intimacy that you believe in. I also see children. A life, you built a life, or you will be building a life that is meant to be shared with other people. And I think you do that in any way that's in your nature, to be quite generous. And because once again, for you, it's not about the money. It's not about the beauty or the superficialness of all of this. It's about what you can do with it. And if you could help other people or be a blessing of sorts to other people, then that's where you find purpose in it. And I think in some way, shape, or form, you've been wanting that. And you're gonna have that. But you guys are coming across as single. But I don't necessarily feel like it's a rejection to relationship. It's more so like, you'll know who's the right person for you. You'll know. You just haven't maybe met them yet. But you'll know. And when you do know, I think you're going to absolutely give in to the love that you're going to be shown. And once again, I get the person that's going to be your partner is absolutely going to be someone that compliments you. They also have a lot of similar aspects to who you are. I see someone who's going to be quite successful or is already successful. Very grounded as well, but also shares some of the same beliefs and same philosophy that you do as well. Very selfless here, and a very an affinity to really help not only just the people that you love, but just humanity in general. The last card that we have is hope. Beautiful. Beautiful. In this lifetime, you're going to come across a lot of people. You're going to encounter a lot of people. You're going to have relationships probably with a lot of people, or not just relationships as in romantic, but just friends even. And it's because you're going to be so much for so many people. You're going to be a beacon of light. You're going to be really the example that people will want to follow and become. It's very angelic, the energy that you give off. Very angelic. Very angelic. It's not of this world. The way that you think, it's not normal. Even though it should be. I don't know why I did that again, but even though it should be the normal. But I also sense that for a lot of you guys have gone through a lot as well. You guys have maybe a rough upbringing, but you guys made it out in the end. You have a story as well that people will really enhance. When people hear it, it will just only enhance your beauty. Pile number 3, I am blown away. Blown away. My favorite, probably one of my favorites of all time. You keep doing it. You keep doing you. And I think you don't even need to go seeking for this love or this higher, deeper meaning. It's going to find you. Like, you're a magnet to it. So, I hope that you enjoyed that. I did. So with that being said, if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye. What is up? Pile number 4. This is for those who pick the black Tourmaline stone. We're about to find out, when are you at your most beautiful? The cards that they gave us are the Queen of Swords in reverse. Baby. Coupled with the Justice card. Whew. We also have the Eight of Cups. We also have the Three of Cups. Share the love. We also have the Lady of the Lake. We also have number 20, Envy in reverse. We also have Green Man, Synergy. We also have Discipline. We have Harmony. And this card that we'll get into later. So, pile number 4, a lot of people should be scared. A lot of people should be scared. Because your energy commands respect. It's very authoritative. It screams authority, but it also is more so like, it's not just like, you're not like a tyrant. It's more so like, I could be a nice person, but watch your mouth. Or like don't be about the BS, because I'm not about that. Like, I can switch, I can flip. If you're not anything else, you're 100% honest, 100% truthful. And I think that's also just in your character. I think that's what's most beautiful, is that it's very authentic. And you say it like it is, you say what you mean, and you do not stutter. This is really the type of energy that everyone needs in their corner. Everyone. I think you're absolutely someone who will have, I think you're gonna have a really great set of friends. But the thing is, with this type of energy, it could maybe some people will find it to be polarizing, but the people that will get you. Absolutely. And I think you know that, and you don't care if it's not to your liking. That's your problem, not mine. But you leave such an impression on people. Such a strong impression, and not in a bad way, but it's more so like, yeah, I like them, but remind me never to get on the bad side. But once again, it's not necessarily they should be afraid of you just for the sake of being afraid. The only people that should be afraid is liars, people who like to take advantage of other people, people who be on that BS, whatever that means to you. Those are the only people that should be afraid. For other people, you're someone who absolutely will defend them. You're someone who will speak when they feel like they can't speak. And once again, I feel as though you have the power of, your words hold power. They have power, they hold power to transform people. You have a certain way of communicating that I feel Spirit is also hinting that this is something that you should also be doing as a career. There's something about your career that's also wanting to pop up in this reading, that your voice, the way you communicate, the way that you connect with people speaks to a lot of people that will also help you be successful in some way, shape, or form. These are the social media people. This is it right here. But you're at your most beautiful when your way of communicating, your consistency, your being blunt, your truth, your honesty, and that kind of like, you know, no smile when it's like, yo, I gotta check somebody really quick because they disrespect my friend. No smile. It's just, okay, so what's up? But I'm also sensing, and we're going to get to it now as we begin. I'm also sensing there's part of a reason behind that. And I think it's because you've also have been through some things, whether it's through friends, to where you had to be that. And it's because you had to set these boundaries. You had to, and really, it's because you know your worth. And that's where the beauty comes in line. You're not going to give your energy just to anyone. You know that. Not everyone deserves your energy. Let's begin. The Queen of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Swords in reverse, man. No one can actually compete with you when it comes to a war of words. No one can compete with you. Even the King of Swords, I feel, will stumble. There will be a great opponent, but the Queen of Swords, especially in reverse, it's like you will absolutely go for the jugular if need be. Now, the reason why I love the energy coupled with the Justice card, because what you're saying and what you're doing will always be right. Will always be right. If this was by itself, then, and if this wasn't like an ego boost reading, I would have to be like, okay, well, maybe we don't have to be as blunt. But because this Spirit has gave us the Justice card, it to me lets me know that this is absolutely the very thing. This is your essence, is unfiltered, unfiltered honesty, that raw truth. People know they can get that from you. Unadulterated, no sugar coat, no fluff. And once again, it's a fierce competitor when it comes to debates. There's going to be very few people who can beat you in a war of words. And intelligence at that. Queen of Swords is absolutely intelligence. And once again, you're going to experience probably a lot of people around you who you know don't need to be around you, and you're not afraid to cut people off. And you had to. They're saying you had to cut people off. And I think a lot of people, even people who you've cut off, will respect that in a way that's beautiful as well. They will respect that. The Justice card, truth, you bring balance. I think the people around you or people that you're typically drawn to are going to be people who are the opposite of that. People who maybe are a little bit more shy, or people who won't necessarily ask the waiter to correct their order when they get it wrong. But I also get for you, it's you do come across as very intimidating, but once again, the only people that should be scared are liars and people who know they're on some BS. You have a very intimidating presence at that. But once again, it's respected. It's something that, it's in this case, your power, the power that you hold, and just your mere presence is quite beautiful. But once again, you balance. You're a balance component to whatever group that you are in, whatever friends that you have. They need people like you. And once again, you don't really care what other people have to say if it's negative, because once again, you're right. Always. oftentimes people are going to say, "I never met someone like you." Like, you say all the things that I would never say but want to say. You leave such a transformative impact on people, and I think it's mostly by the way you speak, the way you communicate, and how you say things. Sometimes even maybe even that tone, but I also feel like the intelligence also comes through in your speech as well. Yeah, your intelligence is also a part of your beauty, especially if you're using your intelligence to really take someone down a peg that needs to be taken down a peg. We have the Eight of Cups. Now for you, I actually really like this because the Eight of Cups for you indicates that you're someone who's not willing to settle. Although there's 8 cups here, and most people will be like, well, that's good enough. You will still leave to find that 9 or 10 of cups. And I think this is also a testament to the people that you keep around you. You have no problem cutting people off, whether it's through relationships as well, romantic relationships, platonic relationships. You don't have a problem cutting people off if they are not giving you the same type of benefit that you are giving them. So you have no problem searching for the 9 and 10 of cups. In fact, that very attitude that you have, not only is it beautiful, but it is what's helping you bring about the people that are meant to be in your circle, like a romantic soulmate or other people in your soul family. And here's the balance right here. The 3 of Cups, share the love. You still operate on the vibration of love. You still operate on your heart, from your heart. Yes, you have the mind, you have the intellect, but it's still how you feel that still takes precedent. Heightened intuition. And once again, you're someone who will have a lot of friends, I feel. Will thrive in social environments, and people once again will know that your way of being is a way of showing love. You're coming across, it's very nurturing actually. Especially if it's in the defense of others. It's very nurturing, but it's not necessarily the typical type of nurture, like, oh, you're my baby. It's more so like, no, get up and try again. Like that tough type of energy. And your friends and the people in your circle find that to be beautiful as well. Like you're always going to be an asset to any group that you're in, always, because they can count on you for that type of energy, that type of truth, honesty, that raw, unfiltered type of honesty. And once again, you're operating from a place of love, so I'm not just being blunt just for the sake of being blunt. You know how some people are like, oh, I'm blunt, when really you're just a rude ass person. No. It's more so like, once again, you have the balance. So a lot of times the rudeness doesn't really pop out until it's with someone who deserves it at that moment. But once again, I also feel like it's in defense of not only yourself, but it's in defense for the people around you that you also love. And we also have the Lady of the Lake, which is pretty much a parallel card to the Queen of Swords. It represents absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. Once again, Spirit is reiterating your presence, your power is striking. And your justice is very swift and powerful. Once again, they really want to reiterate that everything that you're saying, everything that you do say is the absolute truth. There's no denying that. There's no way that this is absolutely also like a walking lie detector, if I haven't said that already. Like, a lot of people should be scared. And when I say a lot of people, I mean people who know they're in the wrong. And they bring that BS around your way. They'll never be the same in the worst possible way. And that could be merely just you speaking, you communicating how you feel. They'll never be the same. We have envy, number 20 in reverse. Now, I feel as though you have a history of giving people the benefit of the doubt, trusting people, and it didn't necessarily go in your favor. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, you had to kind of learn to become this way, or at least maybe you were always somewhat this way, but it just became, it took a drastic turn into a more like no BS type of, like, I got no time at all. But I feel like it's because there's a history of people around you, whether it's friends who either were offended by just your this type of energy, or just didn't necessarily accept it. And once again, it wasn't your problem. It was not your problem. That's their problem. It has nothing to do with you. This is what you're saying. And you're right. But once again, I feel like it's definitely caused some, polarizing effects. Like, once again, the people who get you will get you, and you know that. And even if there's times where you feel like, I'm just gonna be solo dolo, that's something that you'll still do. But I don't feel like that's what's going to happen ever. You're always gonna have people who really resonate with you. And once again, you're the balance that a lot of people need. But you have dealt with some people who were jealous of you, or people who were, and I don't necessarily read it that way ever, but that's just how I'm getting it today for you. That you've dealt with friends, fake friends, you dealt with maybe even partners who were intimidated by you to the point where they wanted to make you feel small, which is also in jealousy, a form of jealousy. And you've overcame that, and you decided that I'm never ever going to deal with that ever again, in any shape or form. Yeah. Green Man synergy. So what you're going to find is a lot of people who are going to resonate with you. A lot of people. And I think, once again, they're talking about global, like something that is going to be making you money somehow. Something that's going to be making you money somehow. Oh my God, they're showing me this girl. I'm not particularly a viewer of hers, but she's quite popular. Her name is she like Baby Girl, B Simone. She's this influencer, B Simone. She's quite popular on social media. She has a platform of sort. People really like what she has to say, and I think she gives like advice and tips and things like that. But the point is, that type of way, I think they showed me that because there's going to be a lot of people who could learn something from just your very being. And they're going to find that to be quite beautiful because it's, once again, you're going to be saying a lot of things that people often shy away from saying. And in a way, you're going to empower people. But there's also going to be people that are going to empower you. So synergy also speaks about connecting with people, like-minded individuals as well, or people who are similar to you as well. Mm-hmm. They're showing me the Ace of Swords, so I feel like there's going to be a opportunity of sorts, or some moment, an epiphany of an opportunity that you're going to be exploring. And once again, it has to do with money, but I don't think you have fully embraced it yet. But there's going to be a time where you're going to be like, you know what, I should do that. Maybe by way of someone else instilling that idea into you. But there's going to be a moment where it hits, to be like, you know what, I am going to pursue that because somebody's going to be like, yo, you're perfect for that, and you will. Discipline. They're also saying like gaslighting is like mind games, gaslighting is all futile against you. Like, just don't try it. Like, when would these people learn? Like, you're not the one. Like, for real. And once again, it's coupled with the nurturing aspect. It's coupled with the truth. So it's not like you're just scary and you're just a bully. No, it's nothing like that. However, if you are not truthful, you're lying, or you're trying to gaslight me, or you're trying to cheat me out of something, like something of that nature, to where it will trigger this type of persona from you, or at least, at the very least, it will become a lot more pronounced to where I'm going to have to lay down the law. You're going to learn that you'll never do that again. And once again, I'm not talking about physical, because I feel like with you, it's really verbal and mental when it comes to your tools that you use. Yeah, you're just you are the symbol for them, for a lot of people, the symbol of truth, the symbol of authority, of right, of just authority. And I see that a lot of people depend on you. A lot of people value you because of that. And it's something about that rawness, that toughness, or even that being unfiltered. That in itself is refreshing, and thus it's beautiful. Harmony. It's like I'm getting like for the 5 friends that don't get you and that you have to cut off, there's like 15 friends that replace them, you know what I mean, that actually do get you, and I think that's kind of your philosophy as well. You will always have people that connect with you, and I think this also speaks about something along the lines of career. There's going to be a following of sorts. This is leadership as well. So you follow it. You're going to have a following of sorts. You are able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. I didn't even read it. But once again, it's it's that raw truth, honesty, sometimes even very blunt and very sharp. But it's still coupled with the love. It's still balanced with the love. You still operate on the heart level. Not many people can do that. Not many people can say that. Some people are just mean for mean's sake. But for you, it's like, I could be mean, but it's only going to be for those who deserve it. And it's probably going to be because I'm defending myself or someone that I care about. But I also feel like, once again, it's you are the balance for a lot of people. A lot of people are not going to be as authentic, really, as you. And people are going to look towards you for that type of energy. It empowers them as well. The last card that we have. Enemy. I love that. Enemy. It's like, once again, why are y'all even trying? Ain't no way you will ever compete with pile number 4. Never. Not in wit, not in physical prowess, not in intelligence, not in debate. Like, it's like, with you, your greatest power definitely comes from when you are defending people or defending yourself or doing something that you feel is right. And with that in your corner, with that type of power, there's no way you could be beat. And of course, it's going to have some type of polarizing effect, because some people are just not going to appreciate that. Some people are okay with, people being yes men or people being fake around them. They're okay with that. So when you come through the door and you serve as a contrast to all of that, people are going to be upset sometimes, or people are going to be are going to find that as a threat. Not your problem. Not your problem. Tile number 4, and you know that. Very formidable. And I think people look towards you for, I think you also come across as protective as well. You are a defender, you are a protector, and that's when you're absolutely at your most beautiful. Pile number 4, I love this. And I hope you did as well. If you feel so inclined, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But other than that, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.